If someone shows up in your dream, and you wake up with that strange heaviness in your chest, pay attention. Because it's never just the face you saw. It's the feeling that follows you into the morning. The way your mind keeps replaying one moment. The way your heart reacts as if something real happened, even though you were asleep. And you start asking the same questions that millions of people ask in silence. Why them? Why now? Why did it feel so intense? Why did it feel like a message? Some people will tell you dreams are nothing. Random images, leftover thoughts, brain noise. Others will tell you dreams are spiritual signs, a doorway, a place where souls meet. Psychology gives one explanation. Spirituality gives another. But here's the one true meaning that sits underneath all of them. When someone appears in your dream, your inner world is trying to bring your attention to a connection that still carries emotional charge. Something in you is not finished with what that person represents. That's the real meaning. Not they miss you in every case. Not they will return every time. Not it's destiny automatically. The real meaning is simpler and deeper. Your dream is highlighting a bond, a wound, a desire, a lesson, or a memory that still has power over you. Power strong enough to rise to the surface when your defenses fall asleep. In the daytime, you can stay busy. You can distract yourself. You can act fine. You can even convince yourself you've moved on. But sleep is different. In sleep, the mind stops performing. The heart stops negotiating. The soul stops pretending. And that's why dreams choose the people who mattered. Out of all the faces you've seen in your life, strangers, co-workers, distant relatives, people you forgot years ago, why does your dream pull that one person onto the stage? Because the dream isn't selecting a random character. It's selecting a symbol that can carry a message your conscious mind has been avoiding. Let's break it down in a way that actually matches what people experience. First, the emotional imprint. There are people who pass through our lives like weather. And then there are people who leave a mark. Sometimes they loved you in a way you weren't used to. Sometimes they hurt you in a way you didn't expect. Sometimes they confused you, and confusion is one of the strongest glues in the human brain, because the mind keeps looping, trying to solve what never made sense. When someone leaves a deep emotional imprint, your subconscious stores them like an unfinished file. Not because you're weak, not because you're obsessed, but because your brain and your heart don't like unresolved intensity. So if someone appears in your dream, one possibility is this. Your mind is replaying the emotional fingerprint they left on you, trying to understand it, relive it, soften it, or finally release it. Second, the open chapter. Some dreams are not about the person. They're about the conversation that never happened, the apology you never got, the goodbye you never said, the truth you swallowed, the love you didn't express, the question you needed answered. In real life, endings are often messy. People disappear. Relationships fade without closure. Someone chooses silence. Someone blocks. Someone moves on quickly. And you're left holding a story with missing pages. Your subconscious hates missing pages. So it creates a scene where the story can continue. Because even if you can't speak to them in the real world, your inner world will keep trying to complete what was left incomplete. That's why people dream of an X years later. That's why you dream of someone you haven't talked to in ages. That's why you dream of someone who hurt you and you thought you were over it. It isn't always longing. Sometimes it's your psyche saying, there is still something here that needs closure. Third, the mirror effect. This is where the deepest truth lies, because it's the part most people don't want to hear at first. Sometimes the person in your dream is not there because your soul is chasing them. They're there because your soul is trying to show you you. Think about it. If you dream of someone who made you feel chosen, maybe the dream is reminding you of the part of you that craves reassurance. If you dream of someone who abandoned you, maybe the dream is touching the wound that still fears being left. If you dream of someone who controlled you, maybe the dream is forcing you to face where you still feel powerless. And if you dream of someone who inspired you, someone who made you believe in yourself, maybe your dream is calling you back to the version of you that felt alive. In this way, dreams don't just replay people. Dreams reveal needs. Dreams reveal wounds. Dreams reveal patterns, and the person becomes the face your subconscious uses because that face carries the emotional meaning quickly, like a shortcut to a deeper message. Fourth, love, grief, and the heart's memory. Some of the strongest dreams are the ones that leave you both comforted and broken. Parent who passed, a child, a lover, a friend. You see them, and for a moment it feels like they're back. The voice is clear, the presence is real, the hug feels warm, and then you wake up, and the absence hits you again. This is why these topics go viral. Because so many people are carrying silent grief, and dreams become the only place where love can visit again. Psychology will call it memory consolidation, attachment processing, the mind rehearsing loss. Spiritual traditions will call it visitation, a message, a moment across the veil. But even here, the one true meaning still holds. Your inner world is responding to a bond that mattered so much it didn't end cleanly in your nervous system. Because the body doesn't understand death the way the mind does. The body understands connection, and dreams are where that connection still speaks. Fifth, the invisible thread. Now, here's where many people feel that strange coincidence that doesn't feel like coincidence. You dream of someone, and then you see their name, or they text you, or someone mentions them, or you run into them unexpectedly. Some will say it's selective attention, you notice them because you dreamed of them. Some will say it's intuition, your subconscious picked up on something. Some will say it's energy, an unseen bond that pulls at the same time from both sides. You don't have to force a belief here, but you should notice the pattern. The dream often arrives when something is shifting inside you, when you're nearing closure, craving truth, or standing at the edge of a decision. And that brings us to the most important question. How do you know what the dream is actually trying to tell you? Because the meaning isn't only in the person. The meaning is in the details. What they did, how you felt, what you couldn't say, what you were trying to reach, what kept you apart. I'll show you a simple way to decode it by looking at 4 things. The emotion, the distance, the setting, and the ending, plus what to do after you wake up so the dream stops controlling your day and starts guiding your healing. So let's map the 4 elements that hold the real message. First, the emotion you felt in the dream. This is the decoder. Because the person is just the vehicle, the emotion is the actual content. If you felt safe in the dream, your subconscious is reminding you what safety felt like. It's not necessarily about them. It's about reconnecting you with a state you've lost or forgotten. If you felt confused in the dream, like they kept changing their answer, or you couldn't quite reach them, your dream is showing you the unresolved confusion you're still carrying. Maybe in waking life you're pretending clarity exists when it doesn't. The dream is honest about the fog. If you felt loved in the dream, deeply, completely, without question, your heart is reminding you that you know what real love feels like. And maybe the dream is a gentle wake-up call that you're settling for less in your waking relationships. Or it's showing you the love you still need to give yourself. If you felt rejected, abandoned, or watched them leave, this is grief speaking. This is your psyche processing a loss that your waking mind hasn't fully accepted. The dream isn't punishment. It's processing. The emotion is the message. The person is just the messenger. Second, the distance between you in the dream. Were you touching? Could you see them clearly? Were they far away? Could you not quite reach them? Did they keep disappearing? Distance in dreams is distance in your inner world. If you were close, it means part of you still feels connected, still holds them close. If there was distance, it means you're experiencing the separation consciously, but your subconscious is still measuring the gap, still trying to close it. If they kept disappearing or fading, your subconscious is mirroring the impermanence. The way they're slipping from your memory, or the way you're learning to let go, or the way the connection itself was never stable. Pay attention to this. Because distance in a dream often shows your actual emotional distance in waking life. Not the distance you claim to feel, but the distance you actually feel. Third, the setting or place. Where did the dream take you? Was it a place that existed in your real life? A place you went together? A place that means something specific? Or was it somewhere impossible? A location that doesn't exist, a landscape that shifted, a building with rooms that weren't logical? If it was a real place, your dream is anchoring the memory. The saying, this place holds this person. This location is where the feeling lives. If it was impossible or symbolic, a forest, a ocean, a hallway that never ended, a house with infinite rooms. Your dream is showing you that this connection exists beyond physical reality. It's suggesting something transcendent, something that doesn't fit in normal categories. The setting isn't decoration, it's context. Fourth, how the dream ended. This is crucial because it shows your subconscious's direction. Did you wake up suddenly? That's often anxiety. The mind couldn't hold the intensity. Did it fade gently? That's often acceptance. The dream was complete. Did they leave you? That's grief or acceptance processing. Did you leave them? That's your psyche showing you your own agency, your own choice to move forward. Did the dream end with unresolved tension? That's your mind saying, this isn't finished yet. Keep paying attention. Did you wake up crying, laughing, peaceful, angry, confused? That final emotion is the dream's last word. It's what your subconscious wanted you to carry into your day. Now, here's what to do with all of this. When you wake up from a dream where someone showed up, resist the urge to immediately text them or search for signs. The dream isn't a message to send outward. It's a message to receive inward. First, sit with the feeling for 5 minutes. Don't interpret it yet. Don't try to fix it. Just let it exist. Notice where you feel it in your body. Notice what color it has. Notice what the emotion is asking for. Second, ask yourself for honest questions. What was I feeling? What did the distance tell me? What did the setting mean? What was the dream's final message? Write these down. The written word makes it real in a different way. It takes the dream out of the misty realm of sleep and into the clear realm of understanding. Third, ask the real question underneath. Not, does this mean they think of me? But, what does this mean about what I think of me? Not, are we meant to be? But, am I holding on to something I need to release? Not, should I reach out? But, what am I avoiding by staying in silence? The dream is not a love letter from them. It's a love letter from your own soul to yourself. Fourth, let the dream change you, not define you. If the dream showed you that you're still carrying grief, let it move you toward grieving properly, not by texting the person, but by allowing yourself to feel what's real. If the dream showed you that you're still longing, let it move you toward asking, what am I actually longing for? Connection, validation, closure, safety, and where else can I find that? If the dream showed you a version of yourself that was alive, loved, inspired, let that become your intention for the waking world. Use the dream as data, not as destiny. Fifth, understand the timeline. Some dreams come when you're close to moving on, and they're the final echo before silence settles. Some dreams come when you're stuck, and they're the wake-up call that something needs to shift. Some dreams come years later unexpectedly, and they're your psyche checking in. Are you healed? Do you still carry this? Is there more work? The timing of the dream matters. Notice when it came. What was happening in your life? What were you avoiding? What were you ready for? And finally, when someone shows up in your dream, it means one true thing. That part of your inner world is still in relationship with what they represent. It doesn't mean they're coming back. It doesn't mean you're meant to be. It doesn't mean you're weak or broken or obsessed. It means you're human. It means you love deeply. It means you process through feeling, through memory, through the language of symbol and emotion. It means your psyche is intelligent and honest. It shows you what your waking mind tries to hide. So honor the dream, not by chasing the person, but by chasing the truth the dream revealed about yourself. Because that's where the real healing lies. That's where the real meaning lies. Not in them, in you. Welcome to Mindsy if you're curious about the hidden truths of your mind and heart, the things that shape your choices, your patterns, your deepest desires. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon. Because understanding yourself isn't just psychology. It's freedom.